burn it off of them.
That's a pretty expensive camera you got. Where'd you steal that?
I did take my. No, I didn't take my parents' credit card. No. I bought this with my disability money that my mother gave me.
Okay.
With no problem.
All right.
But I would have taken my parents' credit card if I could.
Is
Do you see this?
weird how he just brags about stealing from his parents?
You know, it's funny, Bill. I tried to tell him about a month ago that instead of watching pornography all day
Yeah.
and sending emails to all these lunatics all over the world,
Yeah.
that he should read, productive books for a change. And he,
That's
did,
a good
and, he,
idea.
and he didn't do it.
No.
He doesn't listen. No matter what I tell him, he doesn't listen.
Yeah,
So
you're really trying to help this guy out.
I tried my best.
Yeah.
I've tried to tell him to read the Quran. Read the, it doesn't matter what.
Yeah.
Something
Just
that is-
something.
Read something, yeah.
That is not pornography.
Right.
Yeah.
Although in defense here, we want him to watch as much porn as possible, right? As long as it's your
Now,
porn.
I got to tell you, one of the reasons I'm really excited about having you guys here, is Persia. You are so much more beautiful in person.
Way hotter. Like I'm looking at her on the website right now. You are way hotter in person.
100% agree.
Yeah.
That's a great compliment. It's always
Yeah.
better to look better than your pictures, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. You're very beautiful.
Thank you.
And the other thing is, for you, I wanted to discuss a little bit of the whole thing going on in America right now with all the Muslim stuff. And I assume that, just assume, and maybe I'm wrong, but that you're a Muslim.
A practicing one, yes.
And we're going through in New York all of this crap, and with this mosque that's being built, and the World Trade Center coming down, and the fact that you took down the World Trade Center. For some people, that's the truth. Anyone who's a Muslim did this. And Joe, I want to see firsthand that you are an American loving, awesome person who tries to help people out. You're not the Quran is not something that wants to destroy America. It teaches to destroy America. I thought we could learn a little from you today.
Yeah, on the contrary, actually, Islam is a very peaceful religion.
Yeah.
The real meaning of Islam is peace. That's the actual meaning. It means submission to God or Allah. God and Allah are the same thing. And what happened on 9/11 had nothing to do with Islam. In other words, you have in Ireland, you have problems. You have problems in Israel.
Protestants and Catholics.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
does that mean that Christianity or Catholicism is evil? No,
Right.
of course not. It just means that there are people that are evil.
But you can read, you can go to the Holy Christian Bible, and you can read things into that and twist it and turn it into something that is because back in those days, thousands of years ago, the means of dealing with people were much different than they are today. They'll they say cut his hand off, or you stone someone, or those things are true in the Bible.
Well, the unfortunate part is that there were at one time there were the Crusades, Richard the Lionheart and Saladin. Okay, that was about 1,000 years ago, under 1,000 years ago.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, even today, in many minds, they feel that there's another crusade against Islam and against Christianity or against the Western world.
Right.
The problem is that we have the world has changed today. We are now a global economy.
Right.
We have the internet, so you can be anywhere in the world and be able to, access all the things that you can access right here.
Yeah.
And exposure, people are more exposed today about things. But Islam has nothing to do with that. That's a person or an individual. And there are people in the world who are Muslims who are terrorists. But that doesn't mean that that's them, that's unique, that's their problem, So I don't believe for a moment that you can ever talk about any religion, whether it's Islam, Christianity, Judaism, and put a mark on that. It's a mark on an individual, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. And you see, I've used this example of Reverend Fred Phelps, who is the God hates fags guy, who hates they protest American military
funerals.
And the guy is a Baptist. Does that mean that Baptists are bad? No, it's just this guy's interpretation of this religion and the Bible. His interpretation is crazy, and I think you have that same thing in every religion.
Precisely.
It just so happens that all this was done, and they just kept shouting in the name of Allah. So all of a sudden, Americans who don't know this religion well, the average American, all of a sudden they're saying, "Well, this is a war. It's a jihad against the United States."
Yeah, but the word jihad also is misleading.
Mm-hmm.
The actual meaning of jihad, as I understand it, is holy war.
Right.
Holy war implying that if Islam is attacked,
Right.
then if I go to fight against the person or the whatever is attacking Islam,
Sure.
and I die in the process of that particular fight, then according to what it says, I go straight to heaven. And Stephen Devagan would love this. He'd get 72 persia monirs when he this is
That's
what
right.
this is what it says. Okay,
Yes.
it says that when you die on behalf of Islam, then God gives you shahadat, or shahadat means that He gives you martyrdom.
Right.
And in martyrdom you go straight to heaven, and when you go to heaven, you're met with 72 virgins.
Right.
So
Why 72?
well, that's
What they
the
came up with.
That's the going rate right now.
yeah. So I told this guy, I told him some time ago that become a Muslim,
Yes.
die.
This whole thing is based on economics. When any certain sector of any society is poor, they do what they can to better their stature and to get in a better situation, and all of it. And it's just it's crazy.
I
The whole
think
thing is crazy.
I think, Bill, also you have to keep in mind that religion. It doesn't matter what religion it is. It appeals to the poor man, not to the rich man.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, generally,
right.
and I come from a very not by myself personally, but my country is impoverished. I come from Pakistan, which is a poor country. I've been lucky. I've had the best education money could buy. I came from a well-to-do family, so my exposure has been different.
Yeah.
But the normal person, the typical person, he's lucky to have one decent meal a day.
Right.
So in his life, what he has to look forward to is whatever is promised to him by God.
Right.
So the typical clergy uses that to his advantage and creates all these illusions. To me, these are all illusions.
There are many illusions over there.
Yes, so
Yeah.
to me, these are all what the clergy has told the common person, that look, if you do this, you'll go to heaven and you'll be met by the following.
Right.
Now, I'm not suggesting for a moment that I believe in it, but this is the mental state of mind
Yeah.
that the typical person has.
And if you notice in America, what has happened, we have become a very wealthy country. We're all poor. Today's poor versus the poor of the 1920s, and prior to that, is a completely different poor. Today's poor is, I get my cable, I get my cell phone, I get all the food I want, I get this, I get that, I get this, but you know what, I don't have enough money to do all these other things I want to do, and we consider ourselves poor. Someone like that is poor. The real poor, and what you've watched is as Americans become wealthy, the churches are having a difficulty today filling the halls. They're having a hard time filling the pews, and part of that whole philosophy that you have on wealth is that's part of it. Because you see in more of the wealthy communities, they don't attend church the way they used to.
Wealthy people do not fear God because
Right.
they believe that
They have everything.
Yeah, they believe they're going to live forever.
Right.
I mean, this is the mentality.
That we're going to come up with some technology, medicine, something that's going to allow us all to just live on.
Yeah, I mean, that's been my observation in life,
Yeah.
that it's always the poor who fears God.
Yeah. Joe,
Yes.
do you have any questions?
No.
Does Imtiaz change your?
I have to start looking at things on an individual basis, I guess, because there is this you don't know, and it's almost like a fear of the unknown.
Well, the way
you
it's
know?
been presented is that these people who destroyed the World Trade Center are now laughing in our face because of our freedom, and they're building a mosque
At the site.
to taunt the dead and to taunt those that are the remaining families of the victims. That's the way it's been presented. So people are latching onto this, and we're in a political season. So you have one sector saying, "Well, I got to be elected, so I'm going to say I know this